Welcome to Stuck, Time to Improv. I'm Barry Scott with Business Riff, and I want startups to be wildly successful. Each industry has its unique challenges, and if you want to start a coaching business, we have the person to help you here now today, Dr. Yvonne Oswald from Global Welcome. Thanks so much for coming, Dr. Yvonne.
Thanks, Mary. It's great to be here.
So let's talk about coaching businesses. What kind of unique challenges do they have?
I can totally tell you that because I went through them all. I've done it for 30 or 40 years, and every student I teach says the same thing. Number one, you don't need a massive website with loads of bells and whistles because it's not going to bring you very much money at all. It's going to be personal recommendations that's going to get you the money. So your website needs to be simple, one page. Get a Wix website that you can do yourself and just do one page to start and add to it later. Okay. People say, I'll start the business when I finish my webpage. You'll never finish your website. So 10 years down the line, people are still waiting to start the business. The second thing is, but I like a business card. I'll tell you for why. Because you can put your picture on it, your face, and nobody likes to throw a face away. So you give them the business card, but this is what you say. You don't say, I'm a life coach. I do this, I do that, because then they'll back off. What you say is, if you know anybody who needs any life coaching, could you give them my business card, please? And they go, oh, I might want that. How much do you charge? You get in the back door. I've had that happen every single time. Okay. Next thing, just a nice little stress reliever, a little meditation. You can ask ChatGPT AI to design you a little meditation if you like.
You almost
If you
need to
say,
do it that way because if you use music that somebody else wrote, it's copyrighted and you have to have licensed it.
I know that. And if you can actually apply online and say non-copyrighted music, something like Pachelbel Bell. I mean, something old, something that's over 100 years old will be
Right.
fine. Or
But you
just
have to
even
be
a
careful
voice.
because even Pachelbel's Canon, if it's a new recording with a new artist, they own that copyright.
Oh, really? I did
Oh
not know that.
yes, because
Okay.
it's not just the written stuff, it's the
Right.
performance. And
Then
if
you
you
can
don't
just have your
have
voice. You can
license
just
to
do a
use
voice
the
with no
performance,
music.
yeah.
I know the first music I ever bought was $2,000 for a 20-minute piece. And I was like, wow.
Right.
And after that, I've got a great guy in Toronto who does music. It's $50 for the whole 20 minutes or whatever it is.
So music in the background is good for coaching because
Yes, because it puts you into alpha, and it's what the reason for it is. You've got their business card in your hand, or they've told you what they do, or they're a lawyer, and you say, "Whoa, that must be a really stressful job." I'm going to send you a little MP3 that you can listen to for 20 minutes. What's your email? And you've immediately got their email to send the little MP3 off to. They all really appreciate it because they think you're doing them a favor. In actual fact, you're getting their email on your newsletter list. And that's what you've got to do is build up that newsletter list to 5,000 people. I know when my book first came out, they said, so you need 5,000 people on your list. I said, well, I've got 2,000 right now. And they said, 6 months you've got to get 5,000. And I did it. I literally gave away that MP3 to everybody I knew. I'm like, and I didn't say, can I send you an MP3? I said, you must be really stressed. I'm going to send you. Right? And they were like, oh, thank you. And they all loved it. So, why not? Next thing, when someone says, how much do you charge? What's very interesting is people say something and then they go, oh, I don't know if I can afford that. So you've got to have three prices. The first price is what you would like to get. So, and I don't like the hour idea. It's not per hour, it's per session. So you say $150 a session or $175 a session. And then they'll do one of two things. They'll go, oh, that's great, sign me in. Or they'll go, which means that they don't want to pay that much. So you say, well, what's your budget for that then? And they'll say, well, could you do it for 125? And you'll say, okay. And then the thing is, you've got to have the bottom price too, the price you wouldn't go below. So 100, say 75 is, you wouldn't do it for less than 75 or in at 80. So if they say, well, can you do it for $50? It's like, no, go find someone else. It's not worth the amount of time and the energy you put into getting your qualifications to go and to give it away. I never do freebies, by the way.
right. Or you say $50 gets you into the group session.
Oh yeah, you can do group sessions for $50 for sure. Yeah, you can do that. That's a good idea. And I don't ever do free ones because you've sorted they usually have just one main thing that they're really keen to clear. And if you just give them a one free session, you've cleared it, so they don't need to see you again. It's really interesting. They'll say, I just want to know is if I'm with the right man or whatever. And they'll, if you answer it on the phone and say, I don't think you are because you're asking, they'll say, oh, thank you. Then they'll cancel the session because they've got what they wanted, right? So people are very immediate. They want to be fixed. They don't want to have to work at it at all. What I do to make sure that I get them to commit is before the session, I ask them to send me a page or more, page or 3 pages on what they want to clear in their lives. And it's very good because I've never had one single person cancel after they send me their pages or page, right? So for a 4-hour session, I'll ask them for 3 pages or more. 27 pages was the record for that one. He had a lot of stuff. And then you can do a 1-hour session, a 2-hour session, and a 4-hour session, and depending, on what they want. Or you can do a package. With my 4-hour session, I usually do a package of 3 or 4. So we do the first session, the 4 hours, just clears out the main stuff. Then the following week is clearing out what came up during that week. Then we do the goal setting, and the following week is just a little check-in for an hour. That way they feel they've got it, and usually that's $17.50 at the minimum, right? So that you can actually start to really make some really good money that way. And of course you get them to pay in advance, which I'm not very good at. Even now, I quite often forget to ask for the money. It's like,
Well, that's where I'd go to my website and sign up for a session. And they have to click through a paywall to get the Zoom link.
Yes, exactly. And it's that's quite good too. Yeah. So very important that when they do the Zoom link, I tend to do the Zoom links just before the session. When you are with the person, what we tend to do is say, hi, I'm Dr. Yvonne. I'm a PhD in clinical hypnosis. I've got best-selling books out there, blah, 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 all about me, right? And they kind of go blank, like this. But you're not talking about them. You've got to ask about them. And that will get them interested enough to learn more. What I always do is, and if this is the best phrase in the universe, I say, so if they start thinking about having a life coach session, so what you say to them, what's important about the life coach session to you? What would you want to achieve? And the phrase is what's important to you, because it takes it up to values. It takes it up to their highest value. And then you can work and say, oh, you know what? I can totally do that. I've got a great few tips for that. I've got a great few abilities to do that. Right. So that's really very interesting.
Right.
In the free gift that I've sent you that you can send out to people, there's a 10-page downloadable on how to start a life coaching business. So, and of course, when I wrote it, we didn't have AI. And the great news about AI is you've got a free tool for the content for your website and everything else. It's magic.
It is
So,
magic. Well, time has certainly just flown by, and I really thank you, Dr. Yvonne Oswald from Global Welcome. We
yeah.
will put links to the free download into comments so that everybody gets a chance to use it. And I'm Mary Scott with Business Riff. I want startups to be wildly successful. One of the best things you can do to accomplish that is book a call with me at businessriff.com. And join us again next time for Stuck, Time to Improv.